Growing calls for BBC to investigate Gregg Wallace amid escalating allegations. The BBC faces mounting pressure to take direct action and launch its own investigation into MasterChef host Gregg Wallace following the emergence of new and increasingly serious allegations against the presenter. Despite being one of the network's most prominent personalities, the BBC has so far refrained from initiating an internal inquiry, instead deferring the matter to MasterChef's production company, Banijay UK. Banijay's external review. Banijay has engaged an external law firm to conduct a rigorous review of the allegations. Wallace has consistently denied any wrongdoing. The BBC, citing Banijay's direct contractual relationship with the presenter, has directed inquiries about Wallace's behavior or future involvement with the broadcaster to the production company. However, with new claims of inappropriate touching surfacing, public calls for the BBC to take accountability have grown louder. Labour MP Rachel Taylor, speaking on BBC Radio 4, emphasised the public's expectations. Most viewers see these programmes as BBC programmes, and they expect the BBC to handle such serious allegations properly, she said. The BBC must be accountable to its viewers. Licence fee payers deserve to know that those appearing on their screens are held to the highest standards of conduct. BBC's official response. A spokesperson for the BBC stated that the corporation takes all complaints seriously and reiterated its zero-tolerance policy for behaviour that falls below its standards. However, they declined to provide further comment while Banijay's review is ongoing. The BBC also noted that it would support Banijay's investigation and is conducting its own internal review into workplace culture to address broader concerns within the organisation. A history of scandals. The allegations against Wallace are just the latest in a string of scandals to tarnish the BBC's reputation in recent months. Earlier this year, former anchor Hugh Edwards pleaded guilty to possessing indecent images of children, while other high-profile figures such as Russell Brand, Jermaine Genius, and Strictly Come Dancing professionals Giovanni Pernis and Graziano Di Prima faced serious accusations. Each case, although distinct in nature, has intensified scrutiny of the BBC's handling of misconduct and raised questions about its governance. Allegations against Wallace. A timeline. Reports indicate that concerns about Wallace's behavior date back to at least 2017. In 2022, a formal letter reportedly warned the BBC that some women felt uncomfortable around him. Additional concerns arose following Wallace's February 2023 visit to Nestlé's York factory during filming for Inside the Factory. According to a memo reviewed by Sky News, both the BBC and Banijay were informed of these issues at the time. Last week, Banijay announced that Wallace would be stepping away from his role on MasterChef while the investigation proceeds. The company acknowledged receiving 13 complaints over a span of 17 years, with some participants describing their experiences as unpleasant and inconsistent with the company's values. New allegations emerge. The controversy deepened on Tuesday when BBC News reported fresh allegations against Wallace. One woman accused him of touching her bottom after an event, while another claimed he pressed his crotch against her during filming for a separate program. Wallace's legal representatives have strongly denied these claims, asserting that he does not engage in behavior of a sexually harassing nature. Public and institutional demands for action. As public trust in the BBC continues to waver, demands for greater transparency and accountability have grown. Critics argue that the BBC, as a public service broadcaster funded by licence fees, has a duty to demonstrate its commitment to upholding ethical standards and addressing misconduct among its on-screen personalities. In response to inquiries from The Independent, the BBC stated, "We hope Banijay UK's independent investigation can be concluded rigorously and as swiftly as possible. We want the review to follow due process and ensure fairness to all involved. The BBC also affirmed its intent to provide whatever assistance we can to the investigation and emphasized the importance of its broader cultural review in restoring confidence among employees and viewers alike. Looking ahead, with calls for accountability growing, the spotlight remains on how the BBC will navigate this latest crisis. The network's decision on whether to initiate its own investigation may serve as a litmus test for its ability to manage controversies involving high-profile figures. The outcome of Banijay's independent review will also likely shape public perception of the broadcaster's commitment to transparency and reform.